Is Giannis and his online antics, is he just trolling us, or is he using media to put pressure on the Bucks? 844-770-3776. Is Giannis using his online antics and media to put pressure on the Bucks? 844-770-3776. That's our Siding Unlimited poll question. So I just want to, and then you could, because there was a Euro Hoop report with air quotes on it, and the only reason I'm putting air quotes around it is that obviously Wendy, Shams, everyone around ESPN has not verified that. But God, let me tell you, every other non-ESPN entity, I guarantee, would love to verify that, confirm it, and run with it. But they haven't. So that just seems a little fishy to me and to us on the show. So we know it exists in the world, but there's no audio of it. Giannis has been tweeting like a madman today and has made no reference to it. And so I think we kind of have to put that out there as like it's in the world. But for all those that want to dunk on Shams and Wendy and ESPN, they're sourcing something. Now, can you argue Shams tweeting out that for the first time in his life, Giannis is open to considering playing somewhere else? Is that news? That's a different question than if it's real. Because what I will die on the hill of is Shams, Schefter, all of them are not lying. And I'll leave you with this. Remember everyone thought, including Aaron Rodgers, Adam Schefter's a liar. You know who was right? Adam Schefter on the Aaron Rodgers trade stuff.
But it's interesting that you say that. It's interesting that you say that about ESPN and the ESPN reporters and everything, because wasn't Giannis essentially dunking on ESPN when he tweeted, "Does anyone else miss Woj?"
Yeah, but he's trolling.
But how is that not okay? Giannis, you kind of stink for tweeting that, because then even more people are going to go after Shams.
Oh, I don't disagree with you on that. Because here's what I know: Shams didn't make that up. That probably came from someone in Giannis's camp to leak out and put that on there. Yeah, that's a crappy move by Giannis.
Because
I'm not
like
sure
when
exactly
I think
what he's doing there. Yeah.
When I think of trolling, I think of it as like, haha, like I'm just messing with you kind of thing. And that to me just feels like it's crossing the line to what you're saying. Because I know even yesterday you came in the studio and you were like, oh my God, I'm going to block all these dumb people that are
I'm continuing to block people. If people are if you're tweeting swears or attacking Shams, you're just a loser.
This
like,
is utterly
because here's the thing: nobody on social media knows Bupkis, and especially Bucks fans. They're just wish casting. You're just hoping. You have no idea if Giannis wants to be a Milwaukee Buck or not. You don't. You hope, and he has said what we know for a fact is that Giannis has been a happy Milwaukee Buck. Giannis has never seen a team that is as crappy as the one that is staring him in the face right now. Those are two things that are true. And so every single fan out there acting like they know that Giannis is going to come back because he's built different, you're an idiot. You just want him to come back. And I'm not saying he's not coming back. I'm just saying that just because you make stuff up as a fan doesn't mean that Shams or a reporter is making stuff up. Because here's what I will promise you. If you want to know if someone's lying, I promise you there would be other reports. And Eurohoop ain't it. And Giannis could have crushed it. He didn't. I promise you there would be other reporters who would love to kill Shams, who, oh, by the way, everyone loved when he was at the Athletic. But when he goes to the ESPN, the most trafficked website by a country mile over any other sports website, like ESPN, add up every other sports website out there, and it ain't reaching what ESPN does. So Shams ain't doing this for clicks. This isn't 1996. He doesn't get paid per click. ESPN is a juggernaut as far as its digital presence. There's not anyone close. They're not doing it for clicks. They don't need clicks. So just because you don't like the report doesn't mean it's not true.
But that's my problem with Giannis's tweet then.
Well, yeah, Giannis is trolling right now.
He's literally being the leader of the losers. That is what he is doing right now, right? Like, he is motivating people to get more upset about the Shams report, which, like back to what you said, it was his camp that this report came from.
And here's the problem I have with it. And it
makes me have a problem with Giannis.
And this is projection on that part of it. Obviously, I'm just assuming that's where that came from. Because, again, Shams isn't making something up. He's just not doing it. Here is what I have a problem with, is Giannis is still trolling right now on his own social Because if he wanted to, he could put out right this instant and end it. I am a Buck for life, or I want to see this. I want to see my contract through with the Bucks.
We're going to win the 6.
He could say that right now.
Instead, he's quote tweeting StatMuse saying, I hope we get back to the finals, when they're posting about him having the highest minutes, points, and rebounds per game average in finals history. But he didn't say finals with the Bucks.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you think that's on purpose? Or do you think that he just omitted it because he's just tweeting too fast and he doesn't know what he's doing right now?
He is creating a narrative.
He's creating a narrative.
Yeah, he is trolling. He is.
Wait, trolling or creating a narrative? Because I think those are two different things.
Oh, I think he is. He's trolling with a purpose.
Trolling with a purpose.
Because all he has to do, and this is where it gets interesting, and I'm guessing here, I'm not sourcing it, but the way this usually works, and we go through this every time.
Is your source Thomas?
I'm just saying that we all should be aware of how this works. And we all just saw this when Adam Schefter, Aaron Rodgers called him a liar. You know who was right? Adam Schefter. And so, you know what happened the last time Giannis, his contract was coming near an end and the Bucks were kind of at a crossroads? They traded for Drew Holiday in November of 2020, and they signed Giannis to his extension in December of 2020. A little bit of smoke around it. Giannis applied a little bit of pressure. Like, fix this if you want me to sign long-term. I'll float a little bit of soft sell goes out to the media.
But
And it worked.
Back in 2020, were the Bucks in as tight of a spot as they are now?
No, I agree, but he's doing this. He's pulling out the same playbook.
I
He's
think we
still trying to
forget-
put pressure.
So-
It was pretty tight back in 2020. I mean, that was just them coming off of losing in the bubble. They had lost to the Miami Heat.
They had Eric Bledsoe.
They traded Eric Bledsoe to help acquire Drew Holiday. It was pretty bad at the time. They had just barely gotten past the Magic in the postseason. I mean, it was almost worse, you could say.
Okay, so if Giannis is putting pressure on the Milwaukee Bucks, what can they do to make him happy? I know we've talked about a million different scenarios. I know we've mentioned all the different trades that could happen, yada, yada, whatever.
Yeah.
What could they do to actually satisfy him and let him think that he could get another title in Milwaukee?
Well, let's get to, Shams was on with Pat McAfee. Let's get some of that audio.
A lot probably hinges on Giannis Antetokounmpo and his future, right? And I know there's some comments, he made a broad, he's a guy that's always been loyal. If he can win in Milwaukee, he, of course, wants to win in Milwaukee. His biggest issue has been, how does this team stay competitive and compete in the Eastern Conference? Because there's going to be Damian Lillard's out for an extended period of time next season, if not the entire season. They have one first-round pick they can trade, and they don't have many high-value contracts. So can you bring some of your free agents back?
So, to that point, I've seen a little bit out there. And again, 844-770-3776. That's the Carbs Talking text line. Less is more. We are asking you, is Giannis, is Giannis's online antics, is that just trolling, or is he using the media to put pressure on the Bucks? I do think he is using the media, including his own social media, to put pressure on the Bucks. Because if he wanted to be back and he wanted to end all this news, nobody is stopping his social media. But I wanted to finish this, and I didn't finish the thought earlier. Windy hearing and being told that the Bucks aren't shopping Giannis and that there's no trades really out there for Giannis is the exact narrative the Milwaukee Bucks want out there. They don't want to be the team that trades Giannis. Mm-hmm. Giannis looking loyal, but not in his tweets and in a maybe a quote. Again, I have to see it somewhere. I don't care who authenticates it, but Eurohoop putting something out on social. Like, I'm sorry, we live in the day of AI where we can have fake audio. I need Giannis or someone else. It doesn't have to be ESPN. It can be anyone to authenticate the message. It hasn't happened yet. I want to go win a title with the Bucks or whatever the quote attributed to him was. Like, that hasn't been authenticated by anyone. There's no existence of it except Eurohoop saying he said it. And Giannis is all over social media, and he could have said he said it. So he has not said, I want to be traded. True. But he also has not said, I am a Milwaukee Buck through my contract at a bare minimum. That's all he has to say.
And why hasn't he said it?
Because he's trolling. And putting pressure.